Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to another live stream of Hearthstone. Today is August 6th and we are only, I believe now, 3, maybe 4 days away from the expansion. I've got 5 Tavern Brawls unless I trade them out. I'm not sure I can. And we've got other things to do. Play Hunters and play Priest class cards. Being a Sunday stream, I suspect this isn't going to be very well populated in the chat. And we don't have that much news. Again, I've been saying that for probably a week and a half, if not 2 weeks now. Ever since E3, really. And so that's... this is not likely to be one of these ones we've been having where we do arena runs. Although that being said, I might just do an arena run if I'm not too frustrated. Tavern Brawls is what we start with though, so let's hop in here. You may notice my frames per second is now down to 30 frames per second. I am attempting to limit the game to 30 frames per second so the cursor doesn't blink, which kind of sucks. I mean, like, an animation like this at 30 frames per second will almost certainly look twice as bad compared to seeing it at 60 frames per second. But if it gets rid of the blinking cursor, I think I might be willing to consider that. That's, I suppose, something we need feedback from. Is do people, would they prefer a smooth motion here? We're in low latency mode again. I hope we were in low latency mode last time. And I've fixed a misspelling in my initial chat message. Like, nobody else caught that until yesterday. Or last time we streamed, somebody said, hey, you misspelled feel. F-E-A-L instead of F-E-E-L. Which is kind of silly because I'm pretty sure that's what my phone auto-completes. And I would think your phone's auto-completion wouldn't suggest you words. But maybe F-E-A-L means something. And I'm just not familiar with that word. Or maybe it's a regional thing. Maybe some people do spell feel F-E-A-L. Not a really important thing. I suppose we may just try to rush through today and then I can get back to working on Law and Order Legacies. My voice sounds a little rough today too, because I mostly just woke up and job's done. I figured there was no reason to delay going forward with today's streams. I'm always a little down in the dumps when I have to stream on a Sunday because the views seem low. People don't want to watch Hearthstone on a Sunday, it seems. At least not right now. But also I'm gonna be down in the dumps if I have to go back and play Law and Order Legacies because I am completely and totally hating that game. A significant portion of the reason why I'm hating it, though, is I just don't like Law and Order as a TV series. I don't like the perspective it goes through, in which that everybody is assumed guilty. And every single case, the person that the police and the prosecutors are targeting are the guilty party. Every story is about some nasty murder, and or something just as bad. It just paints the world as 100% negative, and it's not true. I wouldn't even say in New York where these things are happening. It's true. So, yeah, I'm not liking it because of that. I'm also not liking it because it's just not really a game there. You literally just go through conversation pieces. If you get if you pick the wrong choice, it just gives you a strike and then moves forward. It doesn't make you go back and pick the right choices or explain why your choice was the wrong choice and what the right choice was. So there's no learning. It's completely unfun to go back and replay it. I double checked on that and replayed a section, and and since I don't watch Law and Order, the characters don't interest me, and nothing else that's happening really interests me. Oddly though, that this is also the end of an era in a way. It's the end of Telltale games for me, pretty much. Like, I will do The Walking Dead going forward, but I'm not sure I want to do Guardians of the Galaxy or the Batman Telltale series, or The Wolf Among Us Season 2. Probably do want to do that, but even if I do all of those, which is still very possible I will, it's going to be much more spaced out. When I started that point-and-click time slot that was covering Telltale games in particular, it was based around getting all of Telltale's games that were on Steam cheaply during the summer sale. I don't think that's probably the right approach to go buy a company. Like, I think it would be much better to in the future
Job's done.
Focus on only doing a series of games. So instead of playing all of Telltale games, I should have just focused on the Sam and Max series for a while, then done a different series by a different company, then come back and done the Walking Dead series, and come back and done that. It's more realistic that more game series would be like that anyways, because most series that you know are series in the video game industry exist because of the fact that time has passed. It's very possible that any number of new IP that come out might become a series, but that's not really consequential. Let's kill this guy and chase this guy, and then do this.
Job's done.
I'm gonna have to do some damage to this guy, aren't I? Okay, so I suppose this is probably a great time to talk about this too, since there's almost nobody online. It's also worth mentioning that by the end of my last stream, when we were playing at 9:50 Central Time, there was only one person still watching. So I know that's too late, and if it weren't for all these free arena runs, it would not be happening. And it's also just bad scheduling and bad timing on my part. Like, in all honesty, I could have done the America's Arena run that day and the European Arena run today, and very possibly another arena run later. Alright. Let's see.
Job's done.
Let's go ahead and hit that. And I don't think we're going to get any more arena runs, so I think we're back to shorter things. I've already said that, but I'll say it again. But as nobody's on right now, this is the perfect time to talk about a controversial topic. Nick Robertson, who was an intern at Giant Bomb. He worked for Revision 3 Games before then. Well, he worked for Revision 3 Games with Adam Sessler, who I kind of wish he'd come back to the video game industry at some point. That'd be nice. And just because he was a funny video game voice, and he's also one of the oldest video game reviewers, and it'd be nice to see people actually capable of maintaining a career in the video game industry instead of being replaced by younger people like Nick Robinson, for example, might be a good example. But most recently, he's a writer or editor. He's, I think, pretty big at Polygon. And he's been suspended over sexual harassment allegations. And surprising to me, it seems like he was harassing women, which I thought he was gay. He certainly acted that way. But who knows, whatever. The suspension itself is news. The allegations itself is news. However, it's not been reported. I bet nobody who hears this has heard this story. Or very few people. Nah, I wouldn't say nobody. It's only really been mentioned in the NeoGAF forum. The Polygon, I believe, is owned by Vox Media, and the person in charge of Vox Media said the suspension is real. So this has been at least slightly confirmed that it's not a complete and total fabrication of him being suspended. And this is a problem for the video game industry to want to potentially not cover or protect its own to a fault. When also, you also probably should compare that to the fact that another video game reporter who the industry didn't like his politics, they pretty much turned on him immediately. So
target acquired.
Time runs out on me.
So it's bad. It's bad reporting. Like, news stations should report the news even if it affects themselves. You cannot make the argument that we shouldn't become part of the news to the point of we should exclude ourselves from scrutiny when news reporters are in trouble. There's no professional courtesy there. That's like politicians often try to push the idea that politicians should never be held accountable for anything because they know that eventually they're going to have to be held accountable for something. Let's go ahead and kill this guy just to
In my sight.
get this done. I don't even know what the Tavern Brawl... I'm just playing cards here. Like, I don't even know what this Tavern Brawl was about. We'll have to look up the thing. All that being said, it should be innocent until proven guilty. That should be something we should always aspire to believe. Not only in a legal sense, but also in just a court of public opinion sense. It is possible, and it's not even unheard of that people just make campaigns to harass people that they don't like. Semi-celebrities, or real celebrities aside. So it is possible he's completely innocent of this. it's also very possible that he's completely guilty of it. And I suppose until more evidence comes out, or people in the know, if the internal investigation of Polygon decides to fire him, then I think we could probably say they have more knowledge, and they wouldn't fire somebody that they were employing just for no reason. On the other hand, like, the severity and what is really sexual harassment can also be questioned, and the nuance there. Maybe he's just flirty and joking, and some people take offense to that and call it sexual harassment. Maybe he touched the back of some lady's hand once and that was considered sexual harassment. Or maybe he's a total complete creep. Not having any facts, we don't know, but the part that is actual news, the part I'm trying to report on and talk about, as far as I cover what's news and what isn't, is the fact that he, by fact, was suspended as far as I can tell, and by fact, it's not been reported. Now, maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe the next Giant Bombcast comes out on Tuesday and they talk about it. Maybe it just happened so fast that nobody saw it. I have not seen it very much myself. I barely even caught it on Twitter. What's more powerful, dinosaur strength or element of fury? Take control of a random deck and the hero. Okay. So that's enough about Nick Robinson. Let's move on to the other few news articles we have here. The Witcher 3 Devil's Pit mod has come out, and it adds a newer area, 4 non-playable characters, and 20 items. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this more than anything, because I generally don't cover mods, is I didn't think there were any mods for Witcher 3 at all. And then the second part about that is it's cool that there are mods, but is it really going to add any story? Think about how incredibly story-rich and conversation-focused Witcher 3 is. If you put in a mod that just has an NPC say, go here and collect this item, it is going to be so broken. Even if you put in a lot of story but don't have the same voice actors to voice it, it's going to feel like a completely different game. So, if I was a modder, personally, I would not even ever attempt to do Witcher 3, because it's not easy to match the quality of the original game. Comparatively, if I was making mods for Skyrim, I'd be like, well, clearly I can do better than what they did. Like, it's not even hard to pull that off, because there's
Reporting for duty.
There's plenty of elements in Skyrim that are just go to a place and kill people and don't really talk to anybody or have any story. You can add a cave to Skyrim and most people wouldn't even recognize that it had been added. Ooh, interesting. I stole a very good card from him. I wouldn't have thought I was going to do as many obituaries as a video game reporter, which is what I'm acting as right now. You just wouldn't have thought that many people, well, I wouldn't have thought that many people would have died that quickly. But here we are, and this is number 4 or 5 in the past couple of months. The composer for Dishonored and Dishonored 2, Daniel Leaked, L-I-C-H-T, has died at age 60 of cancer. So 60 is not. It's right in the middle, I would say. It's not tragically young, but it's also not as old as you would like to be when you die. Like, if you take that you normally would hope to retire at 55, that's not that great. And one would hope to live into their 70s, 80s, 90s, and 100s, if not longer. Other things he did are kind of interesting because he doesn't seem like he did too much, and whenever a spell deals damage, heal that much to your hero. Swap the attack and health of all minions. This really wouldn't change much. Have you cast a spell, do. Let's just go ahead and play this so I have a character. So besides Dishonored 2, he did all 8 seasons of Dexter. Now, I watched Dexter a long time ago, but I don't particularly remember the music being amazingly good. He composed Children of the Corn 2, which I believe Children of the Corn 2 isn't probably the worst of the Children of the Corn series, but it's not really the greatest either. He did Hellraiser Bloodline, which I believe that's the newest Hellraiser, and that, if it is the newest Hellraiser, then that is probably almost certainly the worst Hellraiser ever. He did also in games Silent Hill Book of Memories and Silent Hill Downpour, both of which I think are some of the worst of the Silent Hill games. Which isn't to say he's a terrible composer, it's to say that he never really got much of a break. Even Dishonored is not much of a commitment, because Dishonored isn't that well known of a game, or it wasn't at the beginning when he would have gotten the job for Dishonored 1. And again, I don't recall there being any amazingly great musical sections there. It's cruel to criticize somebody's entire life in their obituary, but the truth is, yeah, that's kind of the case. It doesn't seem like he did too much, but also he didn't ruin anything. I can't imagine any music has ever really ruined a video game to the point where it was just unplayable. Not for me, at least. Health and attack for minions.
Witness the power of pure water.
Let's end this turn. Steam now attracts 1.5 million new customers a month on average, and on top of that, Steam averages 14 million users every day. Now, users is a relative term, though. Does that really mean that 14 million people look at the Steam front page or any Steam page to purchase anything? Or does that mean somebody just has Steam running in their background at all time? Or does that mean somebody launches a game or some combination of any of those? So, like, I imagine it just means anybody that's got the Steam client open and anybody that goes to Steam's website, which is pretty deceptive way to describe it.
Job's done.
I looked at the Blizzard website, and it seems like, at least for now, there is no way to use gold, like they were saying, like the people that were chatting last time were saying. So I've confirmed that for myself. If there's no way that opens up to use gold for the if there's no way to use gold for the newest of the old packs, then I'm just gonna open 100 packs for it. My internet's messing up. I don't know why. I swear I checked. It wasn't uploading.
I must move quickly.
Do I have to do something else? Like, is that how that whole works? Is that I have to close the page on the upload page? Perhaps? Or maybe since it is Sunday, somebody is actually screwing with my internet. Let's start with this. Oh man. I should have done this first. Yeah, so if it stays consistently that there's no way to use anything but real money to buy the old card packs, then I suppose if I was rolling in cash, maybe eventually I would just spend real money on the card packs, but I think not for any time soon. Interesting story here. Destiny 2, at least in its beta program, but it seems like they're saying they're going to do this consistently throughout the entire life of Destiny 2. They're specifically blocking OBS, Open Broadcast Software, and Fraps, and every other on-screen capture program that they can block. Now, of course, they can't block the hardware solutions where you simply plug in a device and then record the video, the HDMI out. No way to really stop that. On top of blocking the ability to record gameplay completely, they are also blocking Discord and other chat overlays. I didn't even know Discord had like a chat overlay system where you could do something like that. Like, if I didn't need chat to actually occur on YouTube, I would consider doing Discord, but as long as YouTube considers every chat message a metric that tells them that the videos are being more actively interacted with, there's no reason to go to a separate service, even if it's a better service. I can't. I have to sacrifice the convenience for my fans to grow my own channel. That way I can frankly do a better grow a bigger audience and hopefully improve by having a better audience. So what this boils down to is it probably means Destiny 2 is incredibly buggy, or it's full of spoilers that they absolutely decided they have to keep secure, but I mean that doesn't really even make sense because as soon as anybody plays the game, they can talk about the spoilers. Like, you're not going into an open beta and going to have an enforceable non-disclosure agreement between everybody in that beta. That's ridiculous. So it has to be full of bugs, or they have to have just gone insane. And I suppose that is a possibility that they've literally lost it. And they just don't care. The other thing is, because you can't stream it, nobody's going to play it. Like, with this staying as it is, you're not going to get PewDiePie. You're not going to get anybody to cover your game. Well, you might get PewDiePie because he probably does have a hardware solution or could afford to buy one. But you're not going to get most of the streamers who can't afford that and aren't willing to spend extra money just to play and stream one game of Destiny. Also, I don't think Destiny is super popular. They want it to be super popular. I won't be buying Destiny 2. I probably wasn't going to buy Destiny 2 anyways, but that is certainly the nail in the coffin if I can't stream it. Moving on, Destiny Warriors 9 is coming to PC sometime. We don't actually have a date, however.
Job's done.
Wow, I only have one mana character. Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun is now out for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. That is, it was already on PC, so we're actually now almost completely out of news. I was not lying when I said this. I didn't have much news at all. This and this. And this.
For justice. Job's done.
Wizard of the Coast has teased a new game called Magic the Gathering Arena. So I imagine it's just yet a new version of playing Magic the Gathering online. And Blizzard now has multiple dedicated incumbent teams, and that was a quote. Multiple dedicated incumbent teams. So multiple teams that are coming in for new projects. So it gives off the feel that Blizzard is planning to go big time. Like 4 new IPs to expand upon what they did. Maybe with the success of Overwatch, they're making so much money. Maybe they're making so much money through card packs and other things too that they said, you know what, we need to roll the dice, and we'll have 4 or 5 games just in development at all times. If 2 or 3 of them fail and one of them is super popular, then we still will be successful. And I imagine that's exactly what they want.
Job's done.
I should have done poisonous. That was a mistake. And that's all the news I had. So, I wasn't lying. That is pretty much we're pretty much done with the stream. So now we have to cross our fingers and hope that we get people on the chat, or this is just gonna be really, really quiet. Just an insanely laid back game. And see, I don't even think I'm doing anything to finish daily quests here unless I win on the Tavern Brawl, because I need 5 Tavern Brawls, and then I need to play, I think, two characters that you can't play as. Here, it's cards. And see, I stayed up late writing down all of this news too, so I could get an early start, and it doesn't even seem like it matters. I'm gonna keep an eye on the speed. Wow, it seems like even when you're not uploading, if you have the upload page open, that thing takes all the YouTube upload page takes all your bandwidth. Sometimes that's insane. They need to fix that terribly. It severely needs a bandwidth limiter. Like, I guess in 2 more turns I can make one of these guys a 10-10 if I can make it that far. It wouldn't be terrible if this was a short experience, though. Like, I guess, in a weird way, I might just call this early. Like we have so many streams where we're talking to people and we're dealing with that, but this is just not one of those examples so far. So I may just go 45 minutes and then play the rest off stream. And just apologies that if anybody sees this on Sunday and it was too late. Because not only do I have a combination of some of the worst daily quests possible, I am not gonna get them done. Like, 5 tavern balls is gonna take forever. All of this is gonna take forever. Here, it only gets worse too. If we switch over to the European account, let's switch over. Like, yeah. Now, I've never been great about time management, clearly.
Find a seat if you can.
But I'm also kind of not feeling playing and streaming today. Like, I've got a watch and learn here and a challenge and a friend. And because of the time delay, I only have 2 of these anyways. So, nobody's online at all for this. So there's literally nothing I can do on the European account. And the Asian account is not that bad either. It's not very good either. And I literally have nothing to say. And I've been saying this for many streams. It's just like, I got nothing to say, but then people would hop on and say hi. But they always hopped on and said hi several hours into it. And we're gonna do that big expansion again. I have a watch and learn, which I can't ever do, and I can potentially try to win this. It's like, So I think I'm just gonna call it quits. Yeah. This is just going to be an extremely short thing. I'm going to save up my energy. I'm going to play off screen. If you're a friend of me, or if you want to send me friend requests, that'll be fine too. I'll even turn off being busy. Because, like, there's several people here, but none of them are on the stream there. And see, that also makes me wonder, am I starting too early? Like, yeah. We're gonna come back in either 3 or 4 days. Well, probably 3 days. Anyways, even if the new expansion isn't available yet, which it is coming out on Thursday, which seems crazy, but I may be able to go into the crafting mode before then and look at the cards and spend a special day on that. And that'll be all day streaming, probably at 2, working all the way until late into the night. And so there's a lot of work. Does it make sense to take a day off before you know you're gonna have to work really hard? Or does it make sense to take a day off after you work really hard? Or does it make sense to do both? That's an interesting question. And probably one I've never even thought of. Let's see, we still can't look at the cards. But I'm gonna cut it here as an experiment. I think this worked alright. Seemed to be some problems with the uploads right now too, and you know, that's a good reason to quit too, because it just is flickering between red and yellow and green, and so I bet my internet might mess up pretty quickly here. As far as arena runs, I think we'll save it. I think I'm just gonna bang my head against the tavern brawls all day, and that's it. So as an episode, this will be incredibly short. I didn't even barely make it to 45 minutes. Like, I'm still 2 minutes short of 45 minutes, but all my other episodes, when I break them up and make and rebroadcast them, are going to be hours and hours in some cases, and so we'll get back to the regular length. And I kind of do feel like if people don't show up in 45 minutes, that is probably on an average stream the breaking point here. Like, it's not true though, of course, because a lot of people don't show up until 3 or 4 hours of streaming. Anyways, today I'm gonna take the day off. I'm calling it. If people want to send me friend requests, if they want to play me, I will turn off the busy thing, and we'll just kind of do a private friends only thing. And I'm just gonna play without streaming. That's it for this this live stream. Let me know how you feel about this. This is something new, definitely. Whether you feel cheated or whether you feel like, oh, this is a cool idea, we could just have private play. Of course, this certainly isn't helping my channel any. If we do private play and chat through the Blizzard chat. Anyways, that's it for this stream. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.